Hi, this is Jenny Irwin from Woodman Controls. Let's talk about reports. Reports can be really useful in helping an Envysion user understand how their system is working and get a grasp on the state of the spaces in the building, both currently and in the past. So let's create a new report. We'll edit one of these existing reports, and I'll help you get the most out of this Envysion module. So first off, it should be linked on your left navigation, simply called Reports. The first time you ever come in here, there might not be any, but most of the time, there's something set up in here just from the people that started your system up. You'll notice that there's two different sections, My Reports and Public Reports. We'll get more into that here in a second. If you want to create a new report, you click the plus. Now, the first thing you want to do is, if you see these dotted lines here, these indicate how many charts you can put on your report. This button in the top right has the different layout options. You can make the entire report one graph. There's all these configurations here, all the way down to 6 different graphs. And you can change the padding too if you want. I find 2 to be the most useful. And then down in your widget window, you click on Charts, and there's a number of options. Again, one of my favorites here is this area chart. And pie chart can be nice. To bring in the data, you've got to drive to it in the left navigation. This building has backnet, although we do have outside air conditions and schedules. You can pull from anything that has a history extension on it. Chilled water system has a lot of good points. And again, we're still just drilling down. This is the backnet device here, CHW_system. We just drill down into the points. This is a big controller here. Points take a second to load sometimes. There they come. And if you're not sure which point has a history extension on it, you can open up the point itself and look for either a COV or an interval extension on the point. Once you've found the point that you want to see on your chart, it's a left click and a drag onto the chart. And to add more points, it's just the same action, a left click and a drag. The pie chart is the same. Let's pick something good here though, so it has some meaning. So here's some of our requesting. Here's the total number of units, and here's how many are requesting the chilled water to run. 40 versus 8. Which, I don't know, I wouldn't display it like this really, but here's a pie chart. There's other charts. Let's take that off. The gauge. This one can be good. Yeah. Total versus how many are asking to run. Just for fun, how many are asking to cool. Oh, and that one's buried. They come in different colors, and they update. Like, did you see that one update? Same for up here. If you want to change the colors, don't click on this. This is the trash, delete. But next to it is the edit. Property inspector. You can change the label on the top. Requests. That's what this is. You can change the min and max to something more meaningful. In this case, 100's a bit much. We could go to 60, and that's a bit more meaningful. You can turn the legend on and off. Here's your series information. This is the same as other widget boxes. All your paths are in the series. But here's the colors. If you don't like blue for that one, dark red. There it goes. And it's fast. If you wanted to add actions, you can. I can't say I've utilized that much off of these reports, but it's there. And then once you have these set up with the tags that you think are going to work, the final thing I found to be useful is this is a button here that you can click on and come in here and set the time range. And a lot of the times I find this relative previous 7-day setup to be a good setup. And what this is saying is that when the report opens, relative to today's date, show the previous 7 days. And then here there's options too, all the way down to seconds or up to years. But days is good for the systems we set up and the amount of trending we usually do. Click OK. And then once you've got it all how you like it, click Save As. And here, just name it something. Descriptions are useful if there's a lot of people use the system and you think this one's really, really useful. You can say that. So here, that point I mentioned earlier about the My Reports versus Global Reports, this is how you select that. This one, if you want it to be seen by every user of your Envysion graphics, click the button and now it's a global report. If it's something that you want only your own user to see, leave it unselected and it'll come up in the My Reports section. And this one, we don't need other people to see this, so I'll leave it in My Reports. Hit Apply. You could create, something close to this report, modify it slightly, save as again. You can create multiple reports from one base if you want, or just edit the same report and then click Save. So that can be a little tricky, but that's what you're doing. Every time you hit Save As, you're creating a new report. Go back to Home if you want to see the new report. Here it is, Jenny's test. As we mouse over, you can see the label, the title. You can see that I own it. The description, so everybody knows it's really, really useful. And some of the creation and modified date information in that. And that information too, here's in the public reports. Here's a public report that I'm the owner of. It was self-explanatory, there's no description, and you can see some creation and modification dates. This white one is owned by Ryan, created, modified, some chilled water test. Let's go in and edit a report. If you click into it, initially you're just on a view of the report. If it's a particularly data-heavy report, you have to be patient sometimes. It's pulling in lots of points. It's making some pretty pictures here. It's got this 1969 date, nothing's showing up. You're thinking, oh, it's never going to show up, and then boom, pretty pictures. So there's my little tip for that. Have some patience, let it load the data. And there's a lot going on here, but let's say we wanted to change some of these tags that are showing up in here. I'm going to go and edit the report. And then immediately, this should look familiar. This is right back into that report creation pane. Right back here to our data tree on the left. We can drive down to whatever we want. Let's say we want to add outside air temp. Click and drag. That is a hideous color. Let's make it shocking green. Get this out of the way. That all looks good, and we'll hit Save. Go back to Home. Now as we Mouse over, we can see the modification date has changed because we were just in there. And if we go in and look at it, here's our outside air temp. And you can see our outside air temp against some of those other data points. Back to home. So that is my reports, public reports, how to create a report, how to edit an existing report. Reports can be really useful. Check them out, create some. Thanks for watching the video.